White, welcome guys to the Love and Relationship Conversations. We're really happy to have you tonight. As you guys know, we're going to talk about a very interesting subject. I think all of our subjects are very interesting. Now, there's plenty of podcasts that you guys can listen to on different perspectives when it comes to dating and relationships. And I'm not going to sit here and say ours is the best. I'm just going to sit here and tell you that we give a different point of view. And you guys can take that and run with it. So today's podcast is about why you can't fall out of love, which I think is important for a lot of people to hear because a lot of people think they're in love, they're in lust most of the time, and they love the idea of the person, but not the person themselves. So we're going to break down this video today by Stéphane Le Brossier. We've covered many of his videos. His stuff is phenomenal. We love what he does. We have a great reverence and respect for him. That's why we, do a review of his videos or we comment a lot on his videos. So I really want you guys to take away what he's saying. We're going to break the video down like part by part. So you guys can like process the whole thing. But before I get started with that, please like, share, subscribe the video, guys. Like, you know what I mean? We do this for us. We do it for you. We help. This podcast was created to help people avoid the pitfalls that a lot of us have gotten into. A lot of self-inner work and a lot of self-reflection. So that's what we built this podcast off of. And we will continue to do the same level of things. So we're going to play the video. We're going to mute it midway through so you guys can pick up on some key information. Hopefully it makes you actually reflect on actually a lot of your previous relationships or maybe even a current one.
Part. You're discovering who that person is that you have this draw to. It's almost an unexplainable draw to them. That doesn't happen with everybody. We can like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And we can desire a lot of people, but we don't feel drawn to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother level right there. So when you come across it, you're recognizing it. You know what I'm saying? And again, falling in love is allow yourself to embrace it. You see what I'm saying? So part of that is you have to be willing to go there because some people recognize it and say, "Oh hell no, this too much. I can't handle this right now. I'm out." Yeah. All right, stop themselves from falling in love. But yeah, I don't think it's more so a feeling, and I don't even think like to me, love isn't a feeling. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Love isn't an action either. You hear a lot of people say, "Oh, love is action." That's actually pure BS. Oh wow! All right, no disrespect to no disrespect to all these people. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good, but love is expressed or can be expressed through actions, but it's not defined by actions. Okay. You can have someone right now madly in love with you and is doing nothing about it. Because of the circumstances, maybe because their lack of action does not mean they're not in love with you. There's a whole lot more to it. Love to me is our spirit. Like we're born with love. If you're a spiritual person, if you're a believer, you can find it in the Bible where it says he gave us a spirit of love. That's something that's within us. That's why when we're born as babies, we cry to be held. We cry.
Okay, I want to break down some things that he said. Like, we can like a lot of people. We can even desire a lot of people. But the question is are you drawn to them? And you have to use the gift of discernment to decide on if you love this person or if you just have lustful thoughts for them. But I like what he said, though. Love is not necessarily an action because a lot of us do believe in love is an action, love is this, and it's like someone could love you, as he said, and do nothing about it. Imagine how powerful that is. They could love you to death but do nothing about it. And there's probably deeper reasons why they're not loving you, because again, love is a choice, and he's talking about it from like a spiritual point of view, right? So if you believe in this or not, and it's completely up to you, we are born of spirits of love, right? And that's what makes it so interesting, because then you will be drawn to other people who operate in the spirit of love, which I think is very important. So we're gonna wrap up the video, and then we're gonna give our full review of it.
Cry for affection. We want love. We're wired that way naturally. And in life, it's a matter of who we choose to give it to and who we choose not to. Even about just love itself, that's about connection. Life, it's a matter of who we choose to give it to and who we choose not to. You know what I'm saying? But then falling in love is, like I said, that's not about just love itself. That's about connection. And that's something way deeper that I think a lot of people just don't fully understand.
So, do you believe you can fall out of love?
No. You don't fall out of love. You can reject love. You can run from love, but you don't really fall out of it. And perfect example, when it's true, when it's real love. People who are falling out of love, I always say, when you fall out of love, it's because you realize you were never in love to begin with. All right? You were there for other reasons, infatuated. You were caught up in the hype, but you didn't have that
Wow. I actually want to take that point home. You see what he said? You can't really fall out of love with someone, because if you fell out of love with someone, you were never in love with them in the first place. You were there for other reasons. And on this podcast, we've covered it multiple times, is use discernment, vet the person, make sure that they are in your life for the right reasons. Now, some people can play the game very well. They can wear masks. They can be like, they can do the game very well. But that's why you have to suss them out. Because when somebody tells you that they love you and then they've fallen out of love with you, because we hear the terminology a lot, right? Is all it means is they never really loved you. They were there for other reasons. And sometimes that's a tough pill to swallow. But I love what he said is about connection. Now, we think just because we have a connection with somebody that we need to go be with them, that we need to go lay up under them. No, you don't. You're going to have different levels of connections with people. And one of his biggest statements, which I think it's given me revelation in my personal life, is, can you go deep with them? And I want to be honest with you. Ask yourself, can you go deep with this person? Can you let this person, and we've talked about it here, behind the wall, so like where you keep all your secrets, your vulnerabilities, true identity behind the wall. Are you willing to give them the key to the door to what's behind the wall? If you can't go deep with someone, you're probably not best suited for you to date them, because a relationship does require that. Now, some people will say, oh, it takes time. Yes, it does. But you're going to know within like a small window on if you can go deep with this individual. Can you let them in and have the deep conversations, talk about certain things? It's not always about the bedroom fun, but can I sit down in a room with you and have a full-blown conversation where we're going deep? But he also touched on another point as well. Love is a choice, right? We choose to give it. We choose who we give it to, and we choose not who to give it to, right? So a lot of times it is very selective, because we might like somebody, but we might not want to give them our love. They might be cool. They might be an awesome person, but we might not want to give them our love. Again, it always comes down to choice. So it is something to remember. So we're going to wrap this up and then I'll give my final conclusion.
Real connection with them, because when you have genuine connection with someone, you will always love them. You can stop talking to this person right now, meet up 20 years later, the feelings come right back. And there's millions of stories like that where people disconnect, reconnect, and it's like they never stop talking. Because when it's the real connection, it never disappears. You can't create a connection, you can't destroy one. But you can run from it, you can decide not to nurture it. You know what I'm saying? You can pile a bunch of crap on top of it, but it's still there one way or another.
That scares me though.
Why?
If I had a connection with a guy, he come back like, hey, I need you to fall out of that.
The only way you're going to safeguard yourself is you got to make sure the person you're with, you have a connection with.
Gotcha.
If you don't have a genuine connection with them, I ain't going to lie to you. Yes,
That's
be
crazy.
afraid. Be very afraid. All right?
I'm not saying for me personally, I'm just saying. That's crazy.
And it ain't even like be afraid because some past dude is going to come back and haunt you. If you don't have a genuine connection with that person you're with, that relationship is going to fall apart at some point. You ain't going to be able to keep it up.
Okay, guys, you see, and I love what he said, that if it's a genuine connection, no matter how much time has passed, it's like you guys have never stopped talking. Now, I can only tell you guys, I would only feel this way probably about one or two people in my life, one or two tops, where if we stop talking for a long period of time, it's like it never went away. Because I love it. He said, you can't destroy a connection. You cannot nurture a connection, but you can't destroy it. Right? And you can choose not to nurture it. But I love what he said at the very, very end. And I think it's very important for a lot of people to hear is if you can't go deep with them and you don't like love them, like you haven't chosen to love them, that relationship's just going to fail. And I think a lot of times we need to be honest with ourselves. It truly is, do we love this person? Are we choosing love with this individual? Because if you're not and you're holding back and there's reservations, I think you pretty much know your answer. You're just afraid of the answer, right? And a lot of people are. Let's be honest. Falling in love with someone is a scary thing, but when it's with the right person, when you fall into that love, you're not as afraid because you trust them just as much as they trust you. Right. And I think that's what it really comes down to is when you fall in that love with someone and you both choose each other and you both choose to fall into that love, it's like there's a net and you both know that you're catching each other. So that's what I was saying is we really need to analyze because we throw these words around so loosely. Oh, I love them. No, you didn't love them. Because if you realized that you can't go deep with them, that you don't see a future with them, then you have your answer. You just don't like your answer. That's the difference, right? Like you don't like it. You're sitting there like, oh, I don't like it. But it's like you need to be more accepting of the answers that are given to you. And again, I'll say God, the universe, whatever you believe in, when answers are given to you, don't reject them. Be more susceptible to truth. And I think that's where you have to take your feelings out of it and understand that, yes, this was a great relationship, but that person's not for you, or there was never a connection to be there to begin with. You were there for other reasons. Maybe some not good ones either. We've all made that mistake. And I can openly say that when you look at someone, I'm not going to say you just know, but I'm saying like through interactions and constant communication, you get like not a feeling, but like you start to build a connection, right? Like they trust you just as much as you trust them. And that's what you should be looking for. Yes, looks are important. Yes, a good time is important, but always ask yourself that burning question. If I wanted to go deep with this person, can I go deep with no reservations? Because they're going to be asking themselves the same question too. Can I go deep with this individual? Because if you've ever noticed, the relationships that fizzle out the most are the ones that are just based off of looks with no ability to go deep. Those are the relationships that fizzle out. They don't say stay, I can't even talk right now, sustainable. And that's what you're looking for. You want sustainable relationships, or a sustainable relationship where you can go deep. And I've been in some relationships, man. Everything was great. The bedroom fun, the servitude, the feminine energy. But you know what? You know where the relationship fell short? I couldn't go deep with them. I couldn't tell them things behind the wall, just like they couldn't tell me things behind the wall. So we were never fully able to enjoy the relationship. That's the biggest thing. You're never fully able to enjoy it because you can't go deep with them. You're always struggling. Should I choose to love them? Should I not love them? Do I love them? Do I not love them? And that eternal struggle all the time is hindering your relationship. And then it usually causes it to end. Because when you have a certain level of certainty, you don't have those reservations. You're like, I want to go deep with them. I want to go deep with them. I want to, being able to see their more vulnerable sides. And a lot of times when we're in these relationships with people, you don't do that. And then we wonder why the relationship fell apart. So just always think, guys, you can't destroy a connection. You can only not nurture it. Love is a choice. We choose who to give it to and who not to give it to. And I think that's a very important one to understand too. And it's also understanding that when you date, and this is why we want you to be responsible, date with purpose. If you're looking just for the bedroom fun, be honest. Now, I know a lot of times people say be honest, but people need to understand that if someone's being honest with you, don't get mad. Because we always say, well, be honest with me. And then the person's being honest and they don't like the truth that they're being told. No, if you're looking just for bedroom fun, tell people the truth. If you are looking for a relationship with genuine intentions, tell people the truth. Give them the chance. Don't take their choice away. Because if you're looking for bedroom fun and they're looking for a relationship and you lie and say that you're looking for a relationship, that's not good either. That's what we're trying to always teach people. Be honest with people, especially when it comes to dating. Don't play with people's hearts or emotions, because then you leave them broken for the next person to build up again. When all you had to do was tell the truth. What you're looking for, I'm not looking for. I don't think we should be together. So again, I want you guys to have a fantastic evening. I really want you to meditate on this, because I know I am. Because I'm tired of making mistakes in my dating life. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of nurturing relationships that have no business me nurturing those relationships. They weren't good for me. So I want you guys to have that same level of consideration. Are you nurturing relationships, or a relationship you shouldn't be nurturing? Are you in a relationship with somebody where you know you can't go deep with them, where there truly is no connection? These are all things that you should think about diligently. So look, with that being said, guys, I really enjoy doing these podcasts for you. We're really trying to grow this channel. So please like, share, subscribe, help us build, because we can't do this without you, right? Like, we love doing it, but we want to do it to try to touch as many people as we can. So that's why we always ask you to share the videos, to get them out there. You might not agree, you might disagree. We welcome all opinions. But we want to be able to get this content out there to help people make better choices for their dating life. So with that being said, this is Michael White. Take care, and we will see you guys on Friday.